So I did time series again for my Mod 5 project. I wanted to analyze some things that sort of left unanswered in Mod 4 and wanted to try different markets. I got my data sources from several government websites. I did just like some basic charts just to get a feel for where energy consumption is around the world. China's leading the pack, along with other Asia countries. They're the biggest consumers of petroleum products around the world. These are some graphs, just like historical price charts of crude, natural gas, and LNG. LNG is a type of natural gas that's like really clean, and people talk about it being like the future of clean energy. So a lot of the work with time series is like basically trying to figure out a way to like format your data. So working a lot with like pandas is like spend a lot of time doing that. This is just natural gas and LNG prices. They're like on a closer scale, so it's kind of like nicer to look at them. I initially wanted to take a route and see if like I can use weather to predict prices or if they had an effect. So I did like an initial analysis just on like different cities and weather locations, and I also plotted it together with the trend of WTI, like weather or like seasonal weather, and see if it was like above average temperature in the summer or below average temperature in the winter. But that didn't really have like any indication as to like whether there was going to be like a rally or not in the trend after removing the seasonality component. But the reason why I wanted to look at this is because a lot of people in the marketplace are making decisions based on like, oh, the summer's going to come, so people are going to drive a lot more. Let me, try to load up on energy stocks or energy futures. But I didn't find like that much of a relationship between the two. I want to just kind of like keep going forward. One of the things I got a chance to play around, figure out was like how to stack the profit model from FB, and basically I was able to add regressors, but in the past, like I wasn't predicting forward my regressor prices, so I was just basically using them over again. I figured out like how to come up with forecasts for my regressors as well, and then pass those forecasted values into my profit model to calculate a y hat. I initially didn't trust like the numbers when I was looking at them, so like my y hat it came out to like -$15 and -$6, and that's just not reasonable. So when I wanted to like stack the model, instead of using my y hat values for my regressor, I actually use like just the trend values, and then plug my trend values into my my model to get just an accurate idea, or a semi-accurate idea of like where the prices are going to go. So for LNG, the prices were going from like $3 all the way to like $10, and that was my 95% confidence interval. And it's kind of hard to like make decisions based on like that wide of a range. So I was thinking, okay, like, all right, well, damn. I actually took those profit forecasts and passed them into the neural net, to a neural net, to be able to like have my recurrent neural net calculate forward values. It took me a while to like run some of these models, because like at first like it wanted to have like it wanted to use like stochastic gradient descent, but for time series it's not like the best way to like it's not the best way to optimize the model. Like they want you to use like mini batch because it lets you like take like steps like periods at a time and pass it through the network to create the next value. So thanks to Taylor, he helped me sort of like, I don't know, like navigate like my operating system to like bypass some errors that kept crashing my computer. And I ran this overnight, and long story short, my LNG was predicting monthly prices monthly prices were just like too far out. Like you don't want to. Why would you want to like predict like monthly prices out? This is just like a little video I figured out how to use, running my neural net, and I don't know. I thought it was really cool. It was a proud moment of mine. So anyways, I decided I wanted to try a different market. So I decided to, instead of predicting like 1 month LNG prices, I did the model on Texas electricity prices. And Texas electricity market is open like around the clock, like 24 hours. So this market, and it had hourly data and a lot more of it. So I wanted to be able to predict like hourly time steps, which could be useful. The main takeaway is that these models, like you shouldn't like bet the farm on them. They could be used to like understand your risk a little better. So it could be used for this as opposed to taking bets in the market. And is there any questions?